What's this? The outsider has come to stop me? I owe you much, but I cannot allow you to impede my quest for justice. I will give you a choice. Live here or die.
Hey there friends, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Cold Stare here, how you doing? If this is your first time to the channel, thank you so much for stopping by. Let's get right into it. Today we're covering the God Queen's Fury, which is the Retribution Paladin Mage Tower Challenge. If you've never seen it before, here's the transmog set you earn for defeating Sigrun. Pretty swish, definitely one of my favorite Paladin sets. Alright, well let's go over gear real quick. I haven't played my rep much in this current raid tier, which is Azeroth and Dragonflight. This is mostly just Vault of the Incarnate gear, nothing special. In fact, the tier set is actually deactivated in this Mage Tower Challenge. I went in with a Grondtooth Warhorn. I couldn't remember if Sigrun during this match was technically a demon or not, which that heirloom trinket does increase damage against demons. Got the Elementium Pocket Anvil. It wasn't too bad. Really just come in with whatever strong trinkets you can get your hands on. This is time walking, so the item level will cap at 120, so make sure it's at least that. If you've got an elemental lariat, you're really just trying to optimize the number of sockets you've got. Alright, well some of you may have never been to the Mage Tower before, so if you haven't, here's how you get there. You need to head to the Legion version of Dalaran. From there you need to fly down to Deliverance Point in the Broken Shore, exactly where I've circled it on the map. Once there, you're going to find a NPC named War Counselor Victoria. Talk to her, and whatever spec, whatever class you are, she will always teleport you into your appropriate scenario. Right, consumables, so pretty standard stuff if you do any kind of Mythic Plus or raiding. Tepid Verse for your file, Elemental Potion of Power, the higher the quality the better of course, Refreshing Healing Potion, Drums, Buzzing Rune, Faded Fortune Cookie. Pro tip on the drums for the Mage Tower, don't buy the expensive current ones, buy ones that are good for level 45 or up. So now on to the actual encounter. Go ahead and start the fight by rebuking the Runeseer. We want to do that to bring him into melee range. We're trying to keep the three of them all together so we can cleave them. They share health pool, so the more AoE damage you're doing, the more they're collectively taking. So all your holy charges throughout the whole fight are going to be spent primarily on Divine Storm. We're also going to want to use Blade of Justice pretty much on cooldown, as we have the talent that's making the drop Consecrate. And so our job is to try and keep the three of them on that Consecrate as much as possible. You'll notice that the Jarl right now is in Rage. This is a good time to Hodge him. You also see that I'm being pretty aggressive here. I'm using most of my major defensives. I'm bopping, Divine Protection, anything I can, because right now I've got drums rolling, I've got pot rolling, everything, and I'm trying to pour out as much damage as I can because this is in fact a huge DPS race. So we have a couple environmental mechanics to deal with. One is the runic detonation, that's those three runes on the ground. One's small, medium, large. Run over the small one first because it's going to detonate first. Good time to use your Divine Steed. Sigrun will begin casting Blood of the Father, and you'll know this because she'll yell out, "The power of my father's blood flows through me." You have to get Repentance off before she completes that cast, or she gets a buff that pulses fire damage. So the moment you hear her seeing that, you have to start casting Repentance. It's one thing I really like about this challenge is that all the major mechanics are announced by the NPCs. You'll see too that the Valkyries are flying down and dropping the Orbs of Valor. Those are free heals that you can just run through and get, so keep an eye out for those. You may notice I have Retribution Aura up. Don't do that. I totally made a mistake. You should come in here with Devotion Aura up, reduce some of that passive damage that's going out. You'll also notice that the Runeseer Faljar is casting Ancestral Knowledge. If he gets that off, it's almost certainly a wipe. You have to get through this green shield that's making him immune to interrupts before you rebuke, so make sure you do that. Here's our second environmental mechanic, Dark Wings. This phalanx of Valkyries charged at us. There's always one opening, and you need to find that opening and get through it. The Jarl will occasionally start to cast Blade Storm. This is what we're saving our Hammer of Justice for. Every single time he does that, we have to Hodge him, or he will suck us in towards him and do massive damage. Sigrun's casting Blood of the Father. This is where you can see why this is such a DPS race. The longer this encounter goes on, the more everything starts to ramp up. Mechanics start to overlap with each other. Environmental mechanics start to overlap. It's designed to overwhelm you if the fight takes too long. So the single biggest X factor in this whole encounter, I would say, is when you decide to use your Divine Protection. Generally, the best time to use that is going to be when you experience a moment of just bad RNG. there's just so many chances for that to happen, whether it's the runes on the ground not lining up well with the Dark Wings opening. That's totally a decision you have to make when you think it's the most opportune time to do that. Sometimes Runeseer is casting Ancestral Knowledge, you're not getting through it fast enough, the Dark Wings is about to charge at you. That's generally a good time to use your Divine Protection. Right there was absolutely perfect RNG. The opening lined up just right. Alright, so now that we've seen all the mechanics, I'm going to go ahead and speed things up now. 2x speed, just to get through it a little more quickly. Like I said, the longer the fight goes on, the more things ramp up. That's what makes this such a huge damage check. What you have to remember is you don't have to kill all three of them. You defeat the Jarl, and then just a little bit more damage on the Runeseer, and the fight's over. You actually don't even defeat Sigrun. So, really try and just focus on getting the Jarl down. He's doing the most dangerous mechanics, in my opinion. That's why he's always a kill target, the least amount of health. And here, see, he goes down. Now we just focus on the Runeseer a little bit longer. And yeah, that's it. That's the fight. You'll know you've completed it once Sigrun stops fighting you. She begins speaking, realizing what she's doing is wrong. She's speaking with Aegir. That's it. One important thing you might want to remember, I've never verified this, but make sure you don't leave too soon, because you'll notice it takes a few moments of this RP to happen before the achievement actually activates that you defeated it. So yeah, that would be awful if you left early and didn't actually get credit for it. So just set out the RP, just wait, and congratulations, you did it. There's a damage breakdown. You can see it's just about Divine Storm and keeping up Consecrate. Overall, really fun challenge. Pretty difficult, depending on what spec you come in here on, but for Ret, it's not too bad. So yeah, if you have any questions, think I missed anything, have anything to add, feel free to comment in the box below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I always appreciate it. And I'll see you in Azeroth. Bye!